Look at this thing. He's a big boy. So, in my continued effort to never have to plug in another power tool for the rest of my life, I've purchased the Milwaukee M12 Fuel right angle mini die grinder. This tool, I've been lusting for it for a little while now, and I finally decided to pull the trigger and buy it. And yeah, so I haven't used it yet. In my normal fashion, there's a lot of really good tool review channels out there, but I think one thing that's lacking is will this replace the thing that you're using? And that's kind of like what I like to do, because I buy tools to use them. And yeah, this is one of the ones that I'm going to buy to use it, and I'm planning on replacing the old Pneumatic guy with it. So let's reconfigure, and we'll get into the guts of this thing. We'll talk a little bit about it, and then I don't know, maybe we'll do like a head-to-head test between these two and see if I getting my money's worth out of it. So here it is. If you buy tool alone, like I got, you basically get this guy right here, set of wrenches to loosen and tighten the collet, I think is what we would call this thing. It's got a nice little safety device there, as most of these tools do. I will point out that it has the same kind of button that the Milwaukee ratchet, M12 ratchet uses, that I broke. I actually did a video on repairing it. So, meh with that. On the back here, you got the 4 speeds, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, and 24,500 RPMs, controlled with a blister switch, which I'm not really a fan of blister switches on power tools. They do recess it a little bit, so there's not, you know, too much wear and tear being rubbed against it. And yeah, it's got these little screens on the for the vents there to keep the metal and the wood dust, if that's what you're doing on it. And yeah, it's a pretty simple tool. Oh yeah, it's also got the traditional battery indicator down here on the handle. Now, for comparison, what I've been using for the past, I don't know, 20 years would be this Blue Point mini angle die grinder type deal. Basically the same exact purpose for the two of these tools. This one, however, only does 20,000 RPMs, whereas to this one, what do we say, 24,500 RPMs, so you're getting a little bit extra there. This particular one, I mean, it does great. The only fallback is the part where you got to plug air into it, which can be inconvenient. And I mean, there's a definite size difference going on here. Air tools have the benefit of having the power source be tucked away in an air compressor across the shop or the van, and you have to plug a hose into it, whereas to a battery powered tool you gotta plug a battery into it. So what will I actually be using this for? And these things they're good for precision grinding if you need to. Not so much removing a lot of material, but you can remove a lot of material in a small area. You would pretty much go with a 4.5 to 5 inch angle grinder if you had a lot of material to remove. But like I said, these are just kind of more finesse style tools, I guess you would call it. This particular one's got Scotch-Brite pad on it, just so happened to be the last thing I used. They also make the sanding discs of different grits. My personal preference is 3M. I'll actually see if I could find a link that I can give you guys. This is the 2-inch version of it. If I can find you a link that's got the stuff that I would use here, I guess would be a good description of it. Also, a nice thing of these little drum sander style deals. You stick them in the thing in the collet here. At some point in time, I'll loosen enough to get it in there. You would stick it inside the deal there, and if you had, like, say, a pinhole that you needed to clean out, these are really good for that. And last but not least are these guys right here. These are fairly new. Like I said, I'm kind of old, so 10 years is fairly new for me, but these are also good for removing gasket material. Like if you got a paper gasket you got to blow off, but you don't want to, like if you're doing a head, you don't want to damage the metal underneath the surface. This is also good for blowing that off. If same deal with silicone. If you got to blow some silicone off of something and you don't want to damage it, it does leave marks on the metal, but nothing significant. So what we're going to do is plug that guy in. Oh, it holds the last setting. That's kind of cool. When I first plugged this in, I set it to 4, and it's still on 4. I don't know how long it does that for, but it's been a couple hours, and it's still holding it without a battery plugged in. That's kind of neat. But so I figure a good side-by-side comparison for this would be, I got these little, not little, 15 millimeter bolts, and you got the markings on the bolt. And I don't know, let's get like a 120 grit disc, stick it on this guy, and try to erase the markings. And yeah, we'll do the same thing with this guy and see who wins. That seems like a pretty fair comparison. And yeah, so let's hop out to the van. We'll hook this up. We'll put this on the compressor. This, I got a 6 amp hour battery on it. It's an older battery, but it's the one I'm going to use. And yeah, I think that's just about as good as it gets as far as Milwaukee batteries go. It's a 6 amp hour battery. I could be wrong. I'm kind of new to the line there, but yeah, let's go do that. Alright, so this is the final results from the M12. I also went in, I blew the threads off of this thing just to kind of get a better feel of it. And this is the end results from the Pneumatic. Basically the same thing. So there you go. That is the Milwaukee M12 Fuel mini angle grinder. I haven't edited it yet, so I'm not 100% sure who won the race, this little guy or this guy. Just running them, they seem at the very least comparable to each other, which kind of makes sense because this guy's got this little vane motor in there, and then you got the little gears in there to change the angle of the rotation, so you're going to lose a little bit with that. 20,000 RPMs compared to 24,500 RPMs. So yeah, I mean these little guys, they have like 0 torque at low RPMs. Especially when they're first starting off, you could pretty much hold this and it'll just stall it. Whereas to this, I mean, you got direct drive straight through. You got the motor, which probably weighs more than this little vane motor inside here, and it's electric. So electrics like electrics like low RPM torque. It's just how they work. It's a little 3-phase motor, and I gotta say that it's nice. It's a lot less noisy than this thing, so that kind of works out good. It's actually got a little light down here too. I kind of like that. But yeah, so that's it for the thing. Like I said, I'm not sure who won the race, but as far as replacing this with this, yeah, I don't see a problem with it. I mean, it's a little bigger, but I don't really ever find myself this thing being just the right size to fit into an area. So yeah, I'll hold on to this. You know, I've had it probably 20 years. It's never failed me, so it'll be good for a backup. But yeah, I do like this, and would highly recommend it, at least for doing what the hell I'm doing with it. So there you go. That's the end of the video, and here's the part where I tell you, if you got any questions or comments, you stick them down in the thing, and I'll try to answer them as best I can. I'll provide links to a few things that I think you might need if you buy one of these, and yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. This is my cat. It's feeding time for him. He's hanging out, trying to get attention, trying to figure out what we're doing. Right, buddy? He's 20 pounds. You want to see something huge? Look at this thing. He's a big boy. Right? He's a big baby, though. Now he wants to play. There you go. Ow, stop it, you little asshole. Yeah, you. That's totally you. All right, I gotta go feed him before he eats my hand.